I'm really proud to be a communications major, and I'll tell everyone that I am super, super happy to be here at Dreyfus.
I have a lot of really talented friends with film and stuff, and I kind of use their techniques, and I tell myself that I could do that if I put my mind to it, right? And their really extraordinary goals and achievements, they kind of motivate me to do better.
When you're surrounded by people who love doing what you do as well, it kind of inspires you to keep going and to work harder and to make your work better and all kinds of stuff like that.
We have such distinct programs, but they all kind of come together at the end to make up our great department and the work that we do here.
Part 1, Speech. Each applicant will prepare and present an original 1-minute speech. The required topic for this speech is, how does freedom of speech affect communication arts? Focus on one area of communication arts in your speech. The applicant must write their own speech and present it at the time of the audition. The speech does not have to be fully memorized, and the applicant may use the copy of the speech when presenting. If outside sources are consulted, they should be identified as sources in the speech. A hard copy of the speech must be provided by the applicant at the time of the audition. Applicants must also stand when presenting and should be expressive in their delivery so that the adjudicators can clearly see and hear the applicant. If it is discovered that any part of the speech is plagiarized, then the applicant will be disqualified. Part 2 is the writing. Before the audition, the applicant must respond to the image provided through either a narrative story or a poem. The writing must respond to or be inspired in some way by the image and be the original work of the applicant. Work must be submitted in a PDF format electronically 2 days prior to the audition through a Google form that will be emailed directly to the applicant. The submission should be labeled first initial, underscore, last initial, underscore, writing. For the narrative story, it can be fiction or nonfiction. It may be no more than 2 pages double-spaced in length, and the applicant may do research for a nonfiction story. However, if outside sources are consulted, the applicant must accurately and appropriately cite all sources of the information. For the poem, applicants may submit only one poem. The poem may be no more than 30 lines in length. Part 3, the short film storyboard and synopsis. The applicant will develop a storyboard with a synopsis for an original short film. In order to create the storyboard, the applicant will be given a blank storyboard template with the last image of the storyboard provided. The applicant must then develop the rest of the storyboard frames with images that show and text that explains what occurs in the significant scenes of the film. The storyboard will end with the image provided, which the applicant must also explain as it relates to and completes the story. The applicant will also write a synopsis that summarizes the beginning, middle, and end of the story for their original short film. The applicant should be sure to include images that represent the most significant scenes and text that explains each frame of the storyboard to tell a story, beginning, middle, and end. All materials to complete this portion of the audition will be provided to the applicant. and the applicant will be limited to 40 minutes for this portion of the audition. Part 4, the interview. The applicant will be interviewed at the time of their audition by a panel of adjudicators. Responses should be honest, clear, and coherent, and supported by examples and evidence. The evaluation will be based on ability to communicate ideas and goals clearly, conviction and confidence, experience in and knowledge of communication arts.